Hello students, in this video I will demonstrate how to cross-tabulate one categorical variable with another. As we can see, this dataset includes three variables. First is a hotel brand name, and then each brand name has a location and a star rating. Both location and star ratings are categorical variable. Location is nominal and star rating is ordinal. We would like to create a cross tabulation which shows how many hotels are located at a given place and of a certain star rating. To do this type of calculation, we will need to use the pivot table function in Excel. Pivot table happens to be under the insert menu. So if you click on insert, you should be able to see one of the options as pivot table. Now the way pivot table works is that we can create it on a new sheet, or I can create it somewhere on the same screen. So let's say we want to create pivot table on the same screen to show the result. I should first click on a cell where we would like the results to be. So let's say I want my results to be here, and now I click on pivot table and I select pivot table instead of pivot chart. Pivot table gives me an option to select the range of numbers. I want to create a table for location and star rating, and I want to use the existing worksheet which has a location given. As you can see here, it says G2, which is the cell which I had selected, and I just hit OK. So right where I had clicked first, that's where the pivot table template appears, and on the right hand side we get basic information about pivot table. The way pivot table works is that whatever columns were chosen appears here in the field, and then we can do variety of calculations down here. So let's select both location and star rating as the two fields. Now just by default, whichever field was checked first, Excel puts that as a row. So you can see here now you have location in a row, and each row is showing sum of values for each of the locations. Well, that's not what we want. What we want to do is maybe location on the row, and within column we want the star rating. So let's put it there. Then what we want is, we don't want sum of the ratings down here. We want to just know how many airport hotels are 2-star, how many airport hotels are 3 stars, and so on. So what we are going to do is click on this little arrow on the right hand side with the actually I think we just click on this arrow here, and you see you have an option to change the value of the field setting. So you click on that option, and a window appears which shows what are the different things which can be presented in this table above me in the pivot table. So right now it shows sum. I am not interested in that. I'm interested in count. So I can click on count and I hit OK, and immediately I get a pivot table which shows the count of numbers in each location. So as I can see, in suburban location I have 2 4-star and 1 5-star. You can confirm that. You can see here there's a 4-star at suburban location, another 4-star, used in many different format. So for example, let's say I'm interested in row or column percentages. So you take your mouse to anywhere in the pivot table, and suppose I right click on it. It gives me an option to summarize value by, of course, different options which we saw earlier in the field, sum, count, other things. But we can also look at this option which says show values as no calculation, percent of grand total, and so on. So let's say we were interested in just the airport hotels, and we wanted to know what percent of airport hotels are of different star category. So we can choose the percent of row total, and we will get displayed the following, which shows that, well, 66.67% of hotels were 2-star, 33% were 3-star, and so on at the airport hotel, and the same is true for the other two locations. Now suppose we wanted to do column percent, we repeat the same calculation. We can go ahead and look at percent column total, and now I get columns which are added to 100%. And furthermore, you could do same calculations for the percent of total. Right, so there are many other calculations available. I will let you explore on your own. Just take your mouse anywhere on the pivot table and right click, look for options under show value as, and you will notice that there are many different options available to you. This concludes my demonstration of creation of pivot table, which is an approach for cross tabulation for two categorical variables.